Okay. Nope. So no episode of WandaVision. They just completely ditched the sitcom angle this time. Just no more. Just forget that. Screw it. We're done with that. Freaking. It's go time now. It's real MCU time. Let's freaking do it. And like in this movie, this episode was really just going through scenes from Wanda's past that we hadn't seen in the MCU. Clearly important parts of what made her who she is and what she is and everything. But we had just never seen them in the movies. We see why it's all these sitcom angle. Why the whole sitcom thing is happening in the show. Oh, it's because she just kept watching a bunch of sitcoms throughout her life. Which a lot of us had speculated that she just she just watched a bunch of reruns of a bunch of sitcoms. It was like back in the day while she was still in Sokovia as a kid, and then that's why this is happening. But now we get confirmation, so there we are. And while they're going back there and they're looking back at the memory of when the Stark missile landed in their house and it was just beeping there, Agatha suggests that she used a probability hex to make sure that didn't happen. But as far as we know, she didn't have her powers then. So, like, that's confusing. Unless they're really trying to lean into, they were mutants. They were mutants, they already had these powers. And then it was just, the Mind Stone could just awoken it more or something. If that's what we're going with, okay, cool. I'm fine with that, but like, is that what we're doing here? Because if so, if we can do it, let's go. If we can put mutants in the MCU, let's do it. And then in an earlier episode, we see the security footage of Wanda breaking into S.w.o.r.d. and stealing Vision's body. And supposedly she broke into S.w.o.r.d., stole Vision's body, and brought him back to life. Then the question was, how the hell did she do that without the Mind Stone? Like, that doesn't make sense. With the advertisements, you could see her kind of being blown back a bit, and then the Mind Stone is flown in front of her. So a lot of us thought that, she's recreating the Infinity Stone somehow. Somehow the remnants of them are still somewhere in the universe, and she's just pulling them all together into the Mind Stone, and then she's recreating Vision. No, that was actually... No, that's not what's happening. That was from the early experimentation when she first got... when she first got her powers. That's what that was. In this episode, we find out that what actually happened was she didn't break in. She walked up to the desk. They let her in. In the security footage, they see her use her powers to just break open the door. That was the guy being like, I need to buzz you in. And she's like, no, I got it. And then just opened the door with her powers. She didn't break in. She was let in, and she met Hayward, and then Hayward said, you want to see the body. Let me show you what's happening. And you see, and just like a lot of people had noticed, Vision's body parts are spread across these different tables, and they're dismantling him. They're dismantling Vision. And then they're gonna try and put him back together because he's a sentient weapon. When he's not a weapon, he was a person. This guy's not just some weapon you could just throw around. This was a living person, damn it. And then come to find out that Wanda didn't even take the body. Wanda just used her powers to try, just like in Infinity War, to try and to feel him, to feel his soul, his essence and everything, and she couldn't feel him. She couldn't feel him at all. So grief-stricken, she walks out. She gets in her red car. She drives off to Westview. Apparently, the city's seems a bit run down. It's not in the best shape. If the townsfolk aren't super happy or anything, and she goes to where I assume it's where her house is supposed to be. But then it's not there. It's just bunch of what are they called? I forgot. Cinder blocks. It's just a bunch of cinder blocks just in the four walls, but there's no actual house there. And her grief takes over, and she has this explosion of power that makes the house. And it spreads out, and then that makes the hex. and then she made a construct of the Vision. She didn't bring the Vision back to life. She made a whole new Vision with her powers. That's what that was. That's how the Vision's here. It's not the regular Vision. It's a new Vision. This is a whole different thing. And then the episode ends with her running out of the house. It was with Agatha in her full witch gear, floating up in the air. Holding Tommy and Billy hostage. And she's like, oh, the hex, the Vision, your kids, all of it, it's all chaos magic, and that makes you the Scarlet Witch. They said it. And we get an end credit scene this episode with Hayward and what's left of his team back there, and they're like, oh, we've been trying to put this thing online for. Excuse me. We've been trying to put this thing online for ages now, and now we just needed power from the source itself. Now, all right, turn it on, and it's the all white Vision, pale Vision. It's the version of Vision from the comics where he doesn't have the Mind Stone. I don't think he even has his personality. He's just all white, and they're doing that in the MCU. I didn't think they would, and they are. So. What? There's only 2 episodes left. They said there's only 2 episodes left. I don't know if this was one of the 2 or if there are 2 more episodes after this. I think this is one of the 2. I think there's one more episode coming next week. I imagine it's going to be longer. Or it's just going to be all fighting. It's just going to be all fighting and punching. Don't get rid of the kids. Please, let Tommy and Billy please still be around at the end of this. A lot of people are saying that they think that the kids are just constructs anyways. That's not what I think. I think what happened is that in that second episode when the branch is hidden and they're scared, and then Wanda puts the beds together and then makes it one bed, and Vince's like, Wanda, get the lights, and then they go under the covers and assumably do. I think that was real, and then she got legitimately pregnant, and then because of how the hex works and all the weirdness, I think the pregnancy just happened really fast, and then she gave actual birth. That's what I think it is. I think that's actual birth that happened. She was legitimately pregnant. She legitimately gave birth to twins, and that's why these kids are here and why they're just manifested. They didn't come from anywhere else. I don't think these kids are constructs. I think they're actually legitimately her children that were born. As for where all the other kids came from, because when she drove to Westview in this episode, there were no kids anywhere. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I know that next episode I'm very interested to see what happens. So let's freaking do it. Things are getting crazy. Things are getting insane. Things are getting exciting, and I'm very excited for next episode. Oh boy. Goodbye. Can I be your superhero?